Magical Memories did a fabulous job on our wedding.
Magical Memories was amazing. We had a wonderful time at our wedding.
Magical Memories was amazing. I had the best time ever.
The wedding could not have been better.
Thank you so much. We had an awesome time.
Amazing.
Oh my God.
And the dance floor never stopped bumping.
DJ is just mind-blowing.
The DJ was off the chart.
Memories, DJ at our wedding. Everyone had a great time. It was an awesome party. Everyone was up dancing. Not a single table. Not a single table had a person at it.
The music was sick. It was all the right songs.
We danced all night, so thank you.
It's great. We were able to get everyone from all ages and ranges to get up on the dance floor and dance with us, which was really unexpected.
Everything was wonderful.
Everything went perfect from start to finish.
Thank you, Magical Memories, for making such a memorable wedding.
Our wedding was perfect. And I couldn't have had a better time. Thanks, Magical Memories.
Thank you.
Everybody had fun.
They were able to bring everyone together, and we really appreciate that.
It was perfect. Thank you.
Amazing.
Definitely magical memories.
Oop, I forgot to take up my banner. Let me open up. Boom, here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome! Thank you for joining me today. My name is Steven. I am the owner here at Magical Memories Entertainment. And today we are doing our first ever Wedding Wednesday. That is what today is. We are here to bring some tips, some knowledge, some information to you guys, so that way you have all the fun and information you need to know about the weddings and the wedding industry. Today is an interesting topic. This one is near and dear to my heart. One I've tried to explain to people quite a few times. Let me pull it up. Boom. So I can make it a little smaller so it's not blocking my face. Blocking my face currently. This is what the photo booth is what I like to call it. What the photo booth. It basically is all about what photo booths entail. You know, how do you pick one? How do you decide on one? What's the right move? I like some of the best, I guess. And I have up here, I'm going to add this in there. There we go. Perfect. I have here a picture of all the different photo booths that we offer as a company. We have a whole bunch of different options, whole different services and stuff like that. So let me pull that up so you can take a look at it. And I'll tell you all about them. I mean, at the end of the day, this is here to kind of give you an idea of what there's out there. So in the world of photo booths, you have kind of two different aspects of things. You either have your virtual, or I'm sorry, your open air photo booth, or you have an enclosed photo booth. Those are the two options that exist. And when it comes to that, what that basically means is there something around you that's going to keep everything in, or is it completely open? Is it going to be with a backdrop, or is it open to the public? It's completely open. So those are two different options, either enclosed or open. So that's the two basic starting points when you're looking at a photo booth. Personally, I think the virtual or the open air photo booth is the better one when it comes to your wedding, and the reason for that is it allows for more people to get in the photos. When it's obviously an enclosed photo booth, whether it's a large enclosure or a small enclosure, it still has a limited amount of people that can get in. When you have an open air photo booth, you can get as many human beings as possible in there. You can fit faces and stuff in a screen when you're dealing with one of those other photo booths, but it's obviously not the same. It's a little bit different. So once again, if you're joining me late, jump on here and drop me a comment if you have any questions specifically about what I'm talking about. But otherwise, let me just kind of go through this. So here, like I mentioned, right next to me are all the photo booth options that we offer as a company, but there are tons and tons of other ones. So we have here the open air or the enclosed. Now, in addition to that, once you're starting to go down the line, you want to try to figure out what features you want. What are the most important things that you're looking for? Photo booths have been around for a very long time, so you have a lot of options that you can choose from. You can start with kind of the simple stuff. The simple ones might be where it's just giving you either black, white, or color, and then you have other ones that are kind of like that give you anything from interactive GIFs, you have social media sharing, you have, what else do we have out there? You have on-screen props that you can add to your photos, a whole slew of different types of things. So I'll go through right here on my screen to give you an idea of what is available from our end of the world. So in regards to our end of the world, we have here the first one's the arcade style photo booth. The arcade style photo booth is an enclosed photo booth. That one is more of a of the old school photo booths that you'd see in the world of back in the day, like Coney Island style photo booths, or you might see it at an arcade when your grandparents, your parents were kids. They might see that type of a photo booth. So that's an option. And then in addition to that, we have what's cool about our photo booth is it doesn't just do black and white color, it also does do a whole bunch of Snapchat style filters. That might be things like hair replacement or face replacement or things of that nature. So that's definitely a cool option there. The Classic Photo Station is the standard photo booth. It's our oldest photo booth, one of the first ones we ever got. And this is a fun fact. If you're looking at photo booths and trying to decide on one, don't judge a book by its cover. So this, if you take a look at it, it's kind of got it's just a box, a shell, and it's got a screen in there, and it's got a camera in there. It's like kind of like a digital camera, like one of these, what's it called, these webcams. And when you're thinking about a photo booth, believe it or not, if you're trying to save some money, you can have a relatively really nice photo booth with just a basic camera. You don't need a whole DSLR, you don't need a high-end camera, because they're taking photos that are about that big. They're like this big. So this size photo doesn't need a huge camera, doesn't need like a high resolution, taking 1080p style photos, because it doesn't need it. So if you're trying to save on money, if you're something to be a little more affordable, you can get a photo booth that produces a slower resolution photo, and it's okay. It'll be totally fine to still produce a really fun experience, and you can save some money that way. I'm gonna skip over the flip books because it's a little more advanced. Our giant selfie machine is actually a different style open air photo booth. That photo booth is actually also similar to the arcade style photo booth, but without a backdrop, without like an enclosure. So it still has it has the in program features of Snapchat style filters. We kind of describe it as basically a giant iPhone. So you have this giant iPhone that you can choose all different kinds of features on it. You can do face replacement, you can do hair replacement, you can do fun borders, you can do green screen, all these different cool things that allows for this program to work. What else do we have? And then on that note, green screen photo booth. Kind of pivoting into the next one. That's an open air, an upgrade to an open air photo booth. The green screen photo booth is where literally we're kind of like what you see behind me. I actually have a green screen behind me where it pulls out the background, and I'm able to put in the Wedding Wednesday background here. And that's the big difference here. So you're able to do that. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Oh, no, I'm bigger. I'm gonna make it bigger. Leave this big. Okay, so yeah, that says green screen, and we can do any kind of green screen. You can customize, create any style of photo booth background or any kind of background you want. You can be put into any themes. If you, we've done customized ones for weddings where we can actually take, and this you can see here, this is Dirty Dancing and a bride and groom in that photo in that background right there. But we can do anything. You can create ones where it's actually people. You have a bride and groom that are there, especially in this crazy world we live in, where you can't take photos together necessarily. You can have a fun option where you can actually have a virtual person inside there, so they can actually add it. The next one down the line is another enclosed photo booth. This is a little bit larger one. This is our inflatable booth. So it's actually it's a structure that is blown up on site, a large structure that's blown up on site, and the photo booth is set up inside. And they're actually people are able to go in, take it. It glows. It has different kinds of LED lights set up with it. So super fun, super cool. The next one is one of the huge rages is a mirror booth, mirror me booth, or mirror on the wall kind of thing like that. It's basically if you think about it, it looks like a mirror. It looks like you're sitting there and you're looking into the mirror, and then all of a sudden it can take a photo of you. And this actually has a really high resolution pictures. It has a giant screen on there that allows you to touch it and move it around and do different kinds of fun things with it. That is a definitely cool one. That has also the ability to do social media sharing and things of that nature. Very advanced photo booth, awesome option. The next one down the list is our paparazzi booth. Our paparazzi booth is an open-air photo booth as well, but this is a little bit different. It's not just it's not a booth per se. It's not like a click it, program runs. It is actually an active person taking photos. So that's actually somebody there, an operator taking photos, taking pictures, and allowing you to actually be engaged with an actual person. I mean, every photo booth usually has the option to have an attendant there, but it doesn't necessarily need it. Most of these photo booths run on their own. They work by themselves, so you don't really need a person. But the paparazzi booth is different because it allows an actual human being to engage with people, take photos with people, to be actually a part of the experience. So that's definitely a cool thing. The next one down the list here is our photo graffiti wall. I'm going to skip that and come back to it in a minute. The roaming photo booth is something new, something that's kind of cool. You might have seen it around, where it's an actual portable photo booth. So this is something that that people actually bring to you, that an attendant will actually bring to the guests, walk around the room, they'll roam around the room, and they'll be able to hold the photo experience up. People to click on the program, it'll run through, and the picture will be taken right there. And there's actually a ring light built into it, so that it actually can take really nice photos, get the right lighting, even in a dark room. Even if there's a dark room, this lighting is really nice. They actually can change the angles and adjust it based on what needed for the different groups. Pull it back, pull it closer. Great, fun experience. And then it's digitally sent to anybody, or it can be printed out by sending to a station. So that's another option as well. Very cool. Probably the most popular one that I think, and I've seen other people have, is a social booth. So this booth is a booth that not only will print the photos on site, it's a station, it'll print the photos on site, but it also allows you to share instantly to social media. It can be to Facebook, to Twitter, you can email to yourself, text it to yourself, all these different kind of fun options. That's our social booth. And that one is probably the most popular one for weddings, because people, as you know, your family doesn't necessarily just want the prints. They love the prints, but they want to be able to take those photos and share it on Facebook and tell everybody about your awesome event, your wedding, having a great time there. So they want to be able to share it with their family and friends. So that's definitely the one I think is the most popular. And then the last one on here is the soft shell photo booth. And the soft shell photo booth is very similar to the inflatable photo booth, but the difference is the different type of enclosure. So this one is the one that's pictured here is an actual built setup where they have where we have different screens put on the sides, and it creates an enclosed structure. It can be made in different sizes. We can create different experiences, but this is a really fun one if you want something, or if you're worried about having it. You want an enclosed photo booth, but you can't bring up something. You don't have a lot of space for that, for maybe an inflatable photo booth, or you don't want the sound or anything like that, because an inflatable photo booth does have a sound to it to keep it inflated. The soft shell photo booth gives you the same enclosure experience, but doesn't have the actual sound effect, or it can keep it smaller. It can be changed in dimensions, things of that nature. Going outside of the standard open air and the open air and enclosed photo booth, there are other things that kind of give more of a photo experience versus just a photo booth. When I say photo booth, it doesn't just mean an enclosed booth, like an actual booth. Photo booth is kind of a generic term, but photo favor is maybe another term for this as well. When it comes to that, it actually you have here your flip book, and you have the photo graffiti wall. Both are options that are photo favor experiences. Similarly, can actually be brought into the green screen. That's a photo favor experience as well, but more of a been around a long time, so green screen is kind of a more popular one. But the flip book and the graffiti wall are two that are kind of different, kind of unique. The flip book is actually very cool. What you do is it's taking a series of photos, going back in time, thinking about the old school way of looking at photos. Actually, you know what I'll do is let me pull up exactly what that will look like here. We actually have a video of it, so let me pull up that video real quick for everybody to see. So this is the photo booth. Give me an idea of what it's going to look like here. So a flip book, because in case you're wondering, you've never seen a flip book before, you don't necessarily know. Back in the day, before movies and things of that nature, they had these kind of flip books, which are almost like movies, kind of, sort of. I'll show you what it looks like. Here we go. And this is what it looks like. So So what you're going to do is you'll take the pictures of those series of photos, and then it's almost like setups that looks like we're actually taking actions. So super fun. It's more of an experience than just photos, but it is made up of multiple photos. That's the whole thing. It is a photo booth still. It's still printed out. Unique. Experience. There you go. Now, in addition to that, I also mentioned the photo graffiti wall. The photo graffiti wall. Now, the photo graffiti wall is something very unique, something very different, and it's definitely for the right person. It's not for everybody. So the photo graffiti wall kind of. Let me do this a little differently. So the photo graffiti wall, what it is it's actually a. There we go. Yeah, the photo graffiti wall right there on the bottom there. That's actually where they set up. We set up a screen that the photo that somebody gets taken, a picture gets taken of the person, it appears on the screen, and then you can add features to it live. We have like a spray can that looks like it's like a controller, and actually you can go on there, spray on different things, put in different kind of glasses and stuff like that instantly on this giant screen. So it's actually fun. It looks like a giant graffiti wall, and then the pictures print out and we save them live. So that's a really fun option as well. So there's a lot of different, at the end of the day, there's a lot of different things when it comes down to it. And these are like I mentioned, these are the photo booths that we offer. Now, if you're looking at photo booths that you want from a vendor, if you're looking at any kind of vendor and you have things that you're looking for, the big questions, I'm going to reiterate, I talked about it a minute ago, but I'm going to reiterate, that includes, your question should be, 1, do I want an open air photo booth, or 2, do I want an enclosed photo booth? Biggest question to ask. Because all of these, that's kind of how they get split. It's either going to have an enclosure or it's not. The second question is, I didn't mention this, but the second question is going to be, what size photo do you want? And this is something very important as well. Do you want it to be that traditional 2x6 strip photo? I think I don't have them here. But it can be traditional 2x6. That's a strip, and that's actually, if you look at that top photo there, the girls are holding that one up. And that's standard. I mean, that's the old school traditional way of doing photos. But that's not the only way. In this day and age, you can print them live in any kind of size, shape, design you want. But the traditional way is at 2x6. The next type of style would be a 4x6, which is kind of doubling those two strips, putting it back into one standard photo. And then the orientation of the images on there can be changed. It can be one giant photo. It could be a large photo and 3 small photos. It can be a logo. You can do all the different kinds of designs to it. So that's really important to decide how you guys want the actual layout of those photos, or the actual photo prints, how do you want that done? And different photo booths offer different kind of prints options. And then, of course, do you want it digitally sent to you, or do you just want a live print? Most photo booth companies out there do allow for the digital photos after the fact, and you get to send that. But some photo booths offer live, sharing of the photos. Some don't. So that's a question that you have to ask. Do you want that, or do you not want that? And obviously, the more features a photo booth has, the pricier it can be. So if you're looking to save some money, you can actually stick with it. If some of the less expensive options that have a little less features to them. And they also mentioned this earlier. When you're thinking about photo booth choices, a lot of companies may sell you on the camera that they're using. Oh, I'm going to use this DSLR camera, and it takes really high resolution photos, and this is super important, taking photo booth photos. And at the end of the day, it's not that important when it comes to a photo booth photo, if you're taking just the 2x6 strips, because that photo is not that big. It's tiny little photo. So when you're taking a picture with that photo, it doesn't need to be a really high resolution, high energy camera. You can get something that's a little bit less and still have a really great photo booth. And then one other topic I want to talk about is DIY. You can get photo booths and do it yourself. I know some brides do it. I don't personally recommend it. It's not because I sell photo booths, but it's because it does require some setup and does require somebody to maintain it. So if you're going to do a photo booth yourself, at the end of the day, somebody's going to be responsible for making sure it's set up, making sure it's working, making sure the right program's on there. So that's the only key thing, but you can do it yourself. There are photo booth programs out there that allow for you to take great photos, and you can set up an iPad on a stand with a fun background and do photo booth photos. It's definitely a possibility. So that's definitely something that you can do, and that would be my go-to way to do it would be setting up an iPad on a stand, buying a nice ring light, and setting that all up. Getting a ring light stand. If you get one of those big ring light stands that have the built-in iPad clips on it, and then from there you could download an iPad style photo booth app and then take pictures there. But the only thing I would definitely highly recommend is find, if you're going to have a friend there or somebody there who's dedicated to making sure, who knows how to use it, one, and then who's dedicated to staying with it the entire event. Or if you hire somebody, even if you hire somebody just to stay with that booth the whole time, it might be more affordable, but it's not going to be, you still get that photo booth experience at a fraction of the price. So I think that's important, though, to have somebody, because the last thing you want to do is in the middle of your party, your guests are coming over to you and being like, hey, the photo booth isn't working, and you have to go over there, try to figure out, clicking on it, and you don't want to do that. So you definitely want somebody to be able to do that for you. All right, I'm trying to think of anything else that I can tell you about photo booths. This is, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this is our first time doing a Wedding Wednesday, so I hope I'm giving you some valuable information here. I hope you're getting some interesting things out of this, and tell me if you're looking for anything. If there's something that you're curious about, you're curious about a certain topic or certain information, DJs, timelines, any of that kind of fun stuff. I'm going to try to come up with some cool topics, but this is the first time doing it. I know a lot about photo booths. I've been doing photo booths for a very, very long time, and I figured it's probably the biggest questions people asking me is, how do I pick the right photo booth? And it kind of just depends on the style you're looking for. But like I said, starting with, what style of photo booth you want. Do you want enclosed or open? Do you want just sticking with basics? Is it price point that you're looking at? Are you looking for just which size photo do you want? And then how do you want the media shared at the end? Do you want the media to be shared digitally? Do you want it just to be saved and sent to you afterwards? All that fun stuff. So there are a couple of steps down the line and how many features you want. And then also, of course, like I mentioned, the features. Do you want something that has Snapchat style features? Do you want something that has the ability to share text messaging? All these fun things. So there are a lot of different options, a lot of different things you could do. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in. I see people jumped in and out, so I appreciate you coming on in. Thank you for joining. I hope you drop a like, drop a share. And this is actually a kind of a new page. I've had it for a little while, but hasn't been getting a lot of love. So I've created this new page. We have a couple dozen weddings coming up in the next couple months. Or well, as of May, we're going to start getting into it. May, we actually open back up to doing weddings and large gatherings. So every weekend we have a couple weddings, things that are postponed from last year coming into the new year. And if you're newly engaged, congratulations. This is definitely engagement season. So congratulations. And if you're planning your wedding and you need anything, definitely keep us in mind. Give us a call. We'll set up a meeting and we can chat with you more about your special day. My name's Steven. I am once again here with Magical Memories. You can find out more information about our wedding packages at entertainmentwithstyle.com. Once again, that's www.entertainmentwithstyle.com. And that's all I got for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I answered some questions, gave you some knowledge, some information about how all of this works, and give you some more insight into it. If you have any more questions, definitely reach out to us. You can leave a comment after the fact. If you're watching this days and weeks later, leave a comment, let me know what the questions are, and I'll happily go through them and try to answer as many questions as I can. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.